Howdy! I'm Miles. I work for the Try Guys. I've shot over 200 channel videos. I've produced over 130 episodes of The Tripod, where I give expert advice. And I've seen all their dicks. Now, I get a lot of direct messages from people asking, how can I turn my passions into a career? How can I work for a YouTube company? How can I too see the Try Guys' dicks? So consider this an expert's guide in how to see the Try Guys' dicks.
No, Miles.
I have seen the dicks, so I feel like it's only fair that I...
Of course you've seen the dicks, Miles. Everyone's seen the dicks.
Well, for legal reasons, consider this how I got a job working for the Try Guys.
When I was growing up, all I really wanted to do was...
I am the crocodile hunter. I may not look like it, but I'm undercover. R2-D2, where are you?
My dream school was Tisch at NYU, where kids made movies and people made memories. But I didn't get in. Instead, I went to UNC Chapel Hill and got a communications, media studies, and production major. I spent most of college doing improv and performing and wanting one day to use my huge ego to make it big as a professional silly boy. Pro tip, student unions generally have a shit ton of money to give to people to do cool stuff with. So if you and your friends want to use your show earnings to have a sushi business lunch, sashimi it up, baby. I found that you learn some stuff from class, but you learn way more if you just take a camera and try to make something big, dumb, and ambitious for your friends for like no reason.
Hey babe, Hollywood's calling, time to pick up.
So just as I was done making all these big, dumb, stupid projects, I got an internship at Late Night with Seth Meyers, essentially through complete luck. It just so happens that the receptionist used to be in my screenwriting program, and I was so psyched. And my huge ego was telling me, look, they're gonna take one sniff of you and realize Late Night with Seth Meyers who? It's Late Night with Miles Bonsignore. Get ready to put on the tux, baby, because you're gonna be a star. So I went up there for the summer, I did the whole internship, I shook hands with Seth Meyers, I shook hands with Fred Armisen, I rode in an elevator with Lorne Michaels, creator of SNL. Then I went back to school, I graduated, I was so hyped to go back to New York City for my showbiz career. I get to New York City, and then every single one of my connections from that show just kind of fell through. And it left me exactly where I started, which was because I had worked at the campus coffee shop in college, being a barista was really the only thing I was qualified to do. So I got a job doing that, and I actually really liked it. I loved the coffee shop vibe, I liked the atmosphere, I liked the community level of it, but it wasn't really what I came to New York City to do. So during the day, I would slam ham and cheese croissants and live off cold brew. And at night, I would try to make as much stuff as possible with my friends. And it didn't really matter that no one was watching it. We put it on social media, but no one was watching it. But it was so fun to make, and it kind of kept reminding me why I was there in the first place. In an effort to like keep moving forward and also not wake up at 4:30 in the morning for an opening shift, I got a job at Paperless Post, digital Evite company. And I was a terrible receptionist. I mostly just like made coffee for the office and then researched Ted Bundy on my computer at work. Which, it wasn't for like weird reasons or anything. It's because at the time I was writing Ted Bundy the musical. Hey, Mr. Bundy, won't you walk me home alone? I can't find my car keys, got no money for the payphone. Hey, Mr. Bundy, won't you help me find my car? Somebody slashed my tires and it's getting kind of dark. More like Miles Manuel Miranda, am I right? But I left that job for a job fixing espresso machines for a guy who yelled at me so hard that his wife had to apologize. That unfortunately only lasted about a week, so I was jobless for a while. I didn't have any money, but I tried to just wake up early and go to the coffee shop and write all day, just to get some sort of serotonin release because of my situation. Eventually, a temp agency was able to place me at a luxury headphone store, where I sold headphones in a kiosk underneath the World Trade Center. So in the cold winter of New York City, I was a headphone salesman working with types of people I had only really read about on Twitter. I was completely depressed and miserable, and so I kept a diary. 8:43 a.m. Thursday, Steven asks me if I had ever dated a bitch that looked like a hippo. I respond, no. He tells me the world is flat, and that I'm a sheep for thinking 1:29 p.m. Wednesday. I watch a girl from another kiosk get sucked into a pyramid scheme I had almost fallen for 2 months prior. I nervously tell her to Google the company out of fear that she too would be a loser. She stares at me across the mall. 6 p.m. Store closes. Friday night. Corporate has a meeting at the store. They hire catering for the executives. we are not allowed to eat the food. I quietly ask the catering people if they are hiring in hopes of escape. They say no. I go to sleep hungry. At that time, I had gotten a second job at another coffee shop, so I was working 6 days a week with double shifts on Mondays just to be able to afford my rent in Brooklyn and like fried chicken for dinner. I was still making fun projects that nobody was watching, but it turns out that somebody was watching. A friend of mine from college who I hadn't talked to in a while was working at BuzzFeed, and she reached out to me and said, hey, if you apply to this job, I'll refer you because you'd be a great fit here. And so I applied and I got it.
Paging Dr. Showbiz, party of one.
At BuzzFeed, it's what's called a junior fellowship. So you essentially crew on a bunch of other videos, shooting, running sound, and at the end of your fellowship, you get to make one. It felt exactly like making stuff with my friends, only now we had fun studios and cameras to play with. At the end of the fellowship, after crewing on dozens of videos, I got to make mine. And I was so excited, I did all this prep, and my video turned out bad.
Who the hell are you? I'm a better version of you, from a parallel universe.
Casting had sent me 2 twins from reality television to play the same person in parallel universes, which is not exactly a huge viral concept, but you know, whatever. But because the video looked good, even though it was bad, I got promoted to senior fellow, which is where you make a video a week for BuzzFeed for like 3 months or something like that. And I was so fucking psyched to do this because it felt like I felt before when I was making stuff, only now it was my job.
I saw you didn't use the tip jar, so I'm gonna grab your muffin with my bare hands.
If we kill someone, we are reporting to the police because it is against the law to murder someone.
Right.
I want to see a flying saucer. That's what I'm in it for.
Banana? Damn.
Let's go to infinity and beyond!
So I kept cranking out hot videos, one of which being how to train like Link from Legend of Zelda. Me and Kelsey and Beachike made that, we put Ned in it. Generally at the end of the fellowship, they hire the people whose videos have done the best. And by looking at all the videos, I was looking at mine being like, okay, my numbers are pretty good. All I wanted was to be able to make creative stuff and just be in a group of creative people at a creative company. And this is exactly that. I had gotten to make videos with a couple members of the Try Guys, and I got to meet people that are still my friends today. So right before Christmas, the whole fellowship had this big meeting, and they were like, all right guys, Santa's coming down the chimney and he's cutting the fellowship program. There's a couple people that'll stay on as freelancers, but Miles will not be one of them. So I was pretty bummed.
Hi, this is Hollywood calling. We're so sorry, but there's been an accident and your career has passed. I'm so stupid.
So now I'm jobless in a new city and I'm completely broke with no real job prospects. I'm not sure whether I should move back to New York where my friends are or move into the woods never to return and become a lumberjack. Some months start to pass. While I'm unemployed, I meet the love of my life. Pro tip, if you want to fall in love really, really fast, just quit your job or get fired and both be unemployed for 3 months and just hang out all the time. One day I get this email and it's for a production assistant gig at a very familiar company. Ned and Keith had both remembered me from the videos I put them in, and so they recommended me for an interview. And I was so nervous because I wanted it so badly, which is funny to think about now because of how comfortable I've gotten around them. One might say too comfortable.
That makes you
Oh my God, guys. That is not what makes me. Don't even get me started on what makes me.
Let's move on. But I also was just trying to get that feeling again of being at a creative company surrounded by creative people. I did the interview and I got it. I started 2 days after I got my wisdom teeth out, so it was still kind of fucked up from the surgery. It's funny to think about how I got a job working for the Try Guys because I don't think it was anything intentional on my part. I just said yes to opportunities that presented themselves to me and tried to learn something along the way. I pitched the tripod after I was out for hernia surgery and I was worried I was falling behind, so I needed something with a little pizzazz to come back to work with. I guess my advice to anyone who wants to work in YouTube or new media is just learn how to do every single thing yourself. Learn how to run sound, learn how to shoot cameras, learn how to edit, learn how to do whatever this is.
Hold on, okay.
Okay. Make lasting relationships with creative people you admire, and they'll want to help you get jobs and they'll want to help you make things. So I guess that's how I got a job at the Try Guys. And here's how I got to see all their dicks.
There's a life source in the heart of the mountain.
consider smashing that like or sub button, because I just bought this new lens that's got the wide angle, and I'm probably going to make more YouTube videos with it. Bye!